is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
Last night at the Big A, the kids were at it again. Matt Shoemaker pitched a scoreless gem through 7 innings, and Efren Navarro hit his first Major League home run in a 4-0 victory. Today, the Halos look to complete the homestand with another series win. Tigers and Angels next. It has been an up and down homestand for the Angels. A lot of tight games, but the Angels have won the last 2 against the Tigers and today go for the series win. It's the finale of this 4-game series against the Detroit Tigers. From inside the Big A, we welcome you back to Angels Baseball here on Fox Sports West along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas, and we've said it all along, especially going back to May with the injuries to Josh Hamilton and Cole Calhoun, that the role players are going to have to step up, and boy, oh boy, they continue to do that. Last night it was Efren Navarro.
Yeah, Victor, the pride of Linwood High School has certainly come through in a big way. And take a look at our AT&T U-verse rewind. You're going to show why Navarro has been so clutch for Mike Scioscia coming off the bench and getting an opportunity to play in the outfield. Walk-off base hit July 18th against Seattle. Big comeback victory there. Then get the shower. Big job as far as getting clutch hits. And then Drew Smiley, who has been throwing the ball so well in the game against the Angels, but Navarro coming in late, came through with that base hit. And then yesterday, the first run of the game against Justin Verlander, his first career home run and the silent treatment. That's Hank Congress checking out his text messages to make sure it's okay to go out and celebrate with Navarro with that first big league home run. How about that, though? Going against Verlander, getting that first big league, big fly for Navarro. He's been so good. He's been able to play solid outfield defense, playing first base today, which he's one of the best fielding at first base.
Yeah, with Efren playing first base, that means Albert will serve as a DH. Josh Hamilton is back in the lineup, and they face a right-hander whom they've had success against throughout his career as Rick Porcello goes for the Tigers. The Angels will counter with the left-hander Hector Santiago. We're just about ready for baseball here on this beautiful day at the Big A. So sit back and relax. We're bringing the lineups in the first pitch when we return. Nice win for Matt Shoemaker last night. The Angels go for the series win here this afternoon after dropping the first one on Thursday. Back-to-back victories, thus putting Hector Santiago and the Angels in a position to try to pick up that series win and head on the road on a nice note. Here's the lineup for the Detroit Tigers as presented by Brad Ausmus. Tigers 5-game lead in the American League Central with a 57-44 mark. Austin Jackson at center, Ian Kinsler at second. Miguel Cabrera will serve as a DH today. Victor Martinez at first, J.D. Martinez at right. Nick Castellanos at third baseman. Eugenio Suarez the shortstop. Brian Holiday gets to start behind the plate. Rajai Davis back out in left field as they take on Hector Santiago, looking for his third win of the year.
Yeah, he's thrown very well in his career against Detroit. ERA against the Tigers 2.08. Hector to be successful against this Tiger lineup once again. Quicker outs. Pitch count seems to pile up against Hector. Get those quick outs, use a changeup early, and then finish off hitters. Use that cutter more. Get inside of those right-handed power bats for the Tigers. He's been successful against Cabrera, Kinsler, and Victor Martinez throughout his career with that cut fastball.
Well, Hector's not wasting any time, and neither are the Tigers as Austin Jackson is ready to step in for the first one today. Today's first pitch and delivered by the UPS store. Austin Jackson, a multi-hit game last night, takes a strike. That is Jim Joyce calling the balls and strikes today. Marvin Hudson at first base, Doug Eddington second, and Corey Blazer is the third base umpire. 0-2. 271 for Jackson, 4 home runs, 32 runs batted in. He's 25 doubles and 5 triples. A good guy to keep off the bases, as is Rajai Davis. Davis hadn't played the last 2 games. 1-2. This one shot down the right field line. Cole Calhoun racing over, but it slices foul and out of play.
Looking away on a fastball, is trying to hit the ball at the right field. Jackson had a solid season. 34 extra base hits for Jackson. Makes it 9 stolen bases. Very good at the top of the order. More comfortable batting leadoff than he was down more in an RBI situation.
One, two. Jammed him. Foul back. Handles with the victory last night, increasing their home victory total to 37. 37-19. Tigers 31-19 out of the road. That's a called strike 3 on the inside corner. This one gets started with a strikeout. Check out the defense for the Angels behind Santiago. Josh Hamilton and left, Mike Trout at center. Down at right field, it's Cole Calhoun, David Freese, Eric Ivor, Howie Kendrick, and Efren Navarro from third to first. Hank Cocker behind the plate.
And Josh back out in left field, had some work done on his knee to be able to get quicker on some fly balls. Feeling much better even as the day progressed yesterday. Good to see him back in left field. One of 6 Angel outfielders to play that left field position this season.
J.B. Shuck even made an appearance late last night. So 1 out, nobody on for Ian Kinsler. Second baseman takes a little bit high. Kinsler 290 average. After going 1 for 4 yesterday, doubled in the first inning. And was stranded at third base as he pulls this one foul. Evens up the count at 1-1. 11 home runs, 56 runs batted in. A nice job offensively as well as defensively. Earlier this year, we saw him in that leadoff spot. Austin Jackson in the 5 and 6 hole, trying him out down there, but they've since gone back to Jackson as a leadoff man, and he's responded for him. That puts Kinsler in the 2 spot, and he is kind of a prototypical 2-hole hitter.
He's got power too from that position also.
1-2 pitch. This one shot to right, a base hit. So they'll put a man on with 1 out here in the first, and Cabrera coming to the plate. For the game, the lineup cards being exchanged, and it was Brad Ausmus, the skipper, coming out. handing the lineup card to Jim Joyce, the crew chief. It was Joyce that ejected Ausmus last night.
Yeah, it's still a work in progress for not only replay, but Brad Ausmus as a manager. He had a long conversation. I was watching him today with Mike Socha by the Angel dugout, just going over exactly what the process was yesterday and why he had a little bit of a disagreement with Jim Joyce as far as that decision to go and allow that replay to be seen on the pickoff through the first base.
Well, the wording that was used and we got late during the game yesterday is Cabrera takes a strike. It's something to do with the catcher not being in a set position, but there is nothing that says that in the Major League Baseball rules. So that's one of those gray areas that just needs to be cleaned up, because Shoemaker was clearly on the mound and Jackson was in the batter's box. And so you can understand why Ausmus was a little bit chapped last night. 0-1 pitch. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
When Mike Socha was talking to the media about that exact same thing today, Jackson might have been in the batter's box, but he wasn't in position to prepare to face Shoemaker in that point. And Iannetta was not down in his catching position, so he felt at that point he can go out and check. And he would have had no problem if they wouldn't allow it to happen either.
Yeah, just like anything else, it's always subject to interpretation. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Cabrera serving as the DH. Hit .313, 16 home runs and 81 runs batted in after going 0 for 4 last night. Second time Hector has faced the Tigers. Took the loss at Comerica Park, although he pitched well. 7 strikeouts, 2 unearned runs, and 5 1/3. Command was an issue that day. 5 walks for him. This one's fouled off to the right. I think it's good life on his fastball today.
I was just going to say that. Very good life getting inside. He's been successful, especially his top 4 in the lineup for the Tigers coming in this game. Although Kinsler with a base hit now, they were to 7 for 42 against Hector, the top 4 in the lineup for the Tigers.
Kinsler leading off at first base, and Cabrera lost one out to right. Cole playing deep, just moves to his left, makes the catch. Kinsler tags and then slams on the break as Cole's throw is pretty good. 2 outs.
Good decision by Kinsler. Calhoun with 6 outfield assists this season. He's getting back to the base, but even though it was hit towards the line, Calhoun got himself in very good throwing position to have an accurate throw to second base like we always see him do.
So 2 outs, Kinsler at first base, and Victor Martinez, the first baseman now. .320 average for Victor. 21 home runs, 56 RBIs. Went 0 for 3 last night. Tigers managed 4 hits on the night. 3 by Matt Shoemaker, 1 by Jason Grilli. Matt picking up his 8th win. Verlander took the loss, now 9-9. But overall, Shoemaker gets a team he grew up rooting for. Was spectacular. 5 strikeouts, no walks. The Angels shut out the Tigers.
Well, he still had a smile on his face today. Had a long conversation about having an opportunity to face the Tigers and doing so well, and did what, 78 pitches thrown in 7 innings.
1 ball, 1 strike. I got a lot of questions on Twitter last night. Put out after that 7th inning that he's more than likely done. People asking, oh, why is he done? He's throwing the ball well. He's only at 78 pitches. Why not keep him going? But you know, from a starting pitcher standpoint, 5th starter. You know he's done his job.
Yeah,
let the guys get some work.
Yeah, we even had a conversation in between that inning, and I felt when you make those deals that the Angels have done to fortify your bullpen with Jason Grilli, Houston Street, you have Joe Smith to start the season, has been fantastic.
Kinsler takes off, and Martinez pops it up on the first base side. Navarro near the railing, might have a play. Nope. That's 1-2.
Well, and exactly, getting back, that's why you make those deals. And when you're a fifth starter, you've done your job. Doesn't matter how many pitches. They're stressful pitches, 78, when you're facing a lineup like the Tigers and you're getting close to going that fourth time through. Makes it more difficult. But, you know, Matt with his family here, his mom and dad and his sister, I think Mike Scioscia did the right thing there. And, of course, it turned out that way because the bullpen was solid with Kevin Jepsen, the birthday boy yesterday, dominating once again.
Kinsler was on the move, back to first base now. The 1-2. Martinez shoots it out toward right center field. Chow giving chase. Still racing back, not going to get there. Ricochets off the wall. Kinsler rounding third. He's going to come in to score. And it is 1-0 Detroit.
Well, luckily, Martinez got his foot in on the base before the tag was applied to him. Otherwise, that run does not score because Kinsler did not touch home plate at that point. A 2-out run against Hector again. Just when you got to the point where you think you're through the inning. That ball had some carry as usual here in the day. Victor Martinez get his hands inside and then threw the baseball. Boy, not a lot of wasted movement on the swing for Martinez. And off the wall, backed up well by Calhoun, who got it in quickly and almost had to play at second. Martinez's 21st double, 57th RBI.
That's what pulled foul by J.D. Martinez on the off-speed pitch. So the Tigers strike first. They did that the first two games of the series. Halos lost the opening game on Thursday. Came back against Drew Smiley on Friday night. Foul off to the right. It's 0-2.
A lot of strikes early on for Hector, but trying to finish off a very good hitter here in J.D. Martinez. A lot of strikes. He's run 21 pitches, 17 strikes for Hector.
And pitches are always something that you have to watch with Hector. Pitch count can't get up there. Threw 99 pitches in 5 innings in his last start, and that was against Baltimore. This one's fouled off to the right. Got a no decision. No runs, 2 hits, but walked 3 and struck out 2. Tigers with a run here in the first inning. RBI double by Victor Martinez. He likes it down the road. Third in the American League with a .333 road batting average. This one's skied foul. A lot of souvenirs on the first base side already here in the top of the first.
Saw that with Tyler Skaggs the other day also.
#12th game, 5th start of Hector Santiago's career against the Tigers. 0-3, but a 2.08 ERA. Conger set up outside. Here comes the 0-2. Missing away. Ball and 2 strikes. Both Hamilton and Trout at left and center respectively playing shallow. Cole for his part playing in a couple of steps in right. Likes to play a deeper outfield. Big lead for Martinez at second. J.D. Martinez fouls it back. So 25 pitches thrown by Hector Santiago here in the top of the first. Yet another 1-2. That's up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Everything firm, too. Nothing. Threw 1 off-speed pitch to Martinez and had him out in front.
But that's a pitch, if he throws more often, he'll get some quick outs, which we said it's important for Hector to be able to get deep into games. Better opportunity to win a game when you're in there in the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning.
There's the off-speed pitch. Just got a piece of it. Hank Conger's going to go out and have a word. A warm, muggy day here. Hector, even during his last start, wasn't feeling it 100%.
Yeah, that day he came out of the bullpen. Emergency relief appearance. He wasn't feeling real good that day at all, but gutted it out. Did a good job for Mike Scioscia. Finally getting a little bit stronger now.
This one's out toward right center. Playable for Trout. They'll squeeze it, and the inning comes to an end. The Tigers strike for a run on the double by Martinez. We'll head to the bottom of the first. 1-0 Detroit. First inning, we'll check out Mike Scioscia starting 9. The Angels 2 games back in the West. 62-41 on the year. Cole Calhoun in right, Mike Trout in center. Albert will serve as a DH today. Josh Hamilton back out in left. Eric Ibar at short. Howie Kendrick in second. Effort tomorrow gets to start at first. David Freese had the night off last night back in third base. The Hank Conger batting ninth and doing the catching as they take on the 25-year-old right-hander native of Morristown, New Jersey. His name is Rick Porcello.
Rick Porcello is throwing the ball exceptionally well this season. 12-game winner. Fastball is 89-94. Slider not too often as much as he'd had in the past. Curveball, changeup. But to be successful against Porcello, bring that fastball above the knees. If you swing at that fastball starting at the knees, you're going to get a lot of ground ball outs. And don't try to pull against him. Use the middle part of the field. He will sink that fastball away and also throw his breaking ball and changeup away.
Porcello's career numbers against the Angels are not pretty, although he had a very good outing against the Angels at Comerica Park earlier this year, which he struck out 4, walked 1, picked up the win, going 7 innings, allowing just 5 hits. Cole hitting .287, 11 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Calhoun yesterday 0 for 3 with a walk. No balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball, just got a piece of it. Keeps the at-bat alive.
Well, Porcello works quickly. Throws a lot of strikes. Keeps the ball down. When he makes a mistake and it's up in the strike zone, that's when you got to capitalize against him.
th start of his career against the Angels. Breaking ball, shot back up the middle. Suarez can't get it. It's a single for Cole Calhoun.
Hyundai Key for this game. A lot of Jersey boys. Bruce Springsteen, Thunder Road, especially this part of the lineup for the Halos with Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, Josh Hamilton. 14 for 35 against the Jersey boy himself, Rick Porcello. And Hector Santiago, another Jersey boy on the mound for the Halos today.
Tigers have pitched Trout very, very well throughout the series and throughout their the two series, to be perfectly honest with you, back in Comerica. First 3 games here at the Big A. Check in on Calhoun. Mike last night 0 for 3. 2 fly balls to right, a strikeout and a walk. His one and only hit of the series was back on Thursday, and it came in the 8th inning. It was a double down the left field line. Trout's average 303. Takes a strike.
Good matchup though for Trout against Porcello, because he throws a lot of pitches down. We'll see if he tries to make an adjustment and go upstairs with his fastball against Trout.
Breaking ball in there. He has seen a lot of curveballs and off-speed pitches throughout the 2 meetings.
And if you go with the pattern in which they've pitched him, after a curveball, they'll try to throw a fastball up and in. Good numbers, including a grand slam against Porcello.
That grand slam was right here. That was a game in which the Angels knocked Porcello around Saturday afternoon. It's that high fastball. And that pattern continues. The count remains at 0-2.
And they've backed it up again with another fastball. And then they'll go breaking ball if there's no contact made at that point.
Tigers scoring a run at the top of the first inning. 1-out single by Kinsler, a 2-out double to the alley at right center field off the bat of Victor Martinez. Cole diving back in. Three stolen bases on the year for Calhoun. He's been caught twice. Alex Avila had caught the first 3 games of this series. Not in today. It's Brian Holiday. Pujols on deck. Little flare down the line, tailing foul.
Well, certainly going those same patterns, back-to-back high fastballs in. Now, what we've seen will be next pitch probably be a breaking ball.
And he's got a pretty good one. Hard to believe that this young man is just 25 years of age. Seems like he's been around forever. And always, it seems, as if subject to trade rumors, whether during the offseason or in season.
Tell you what, he's a good pitcher, young and very competitive with very good stuff.
Yep. Breaking ball missed in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. First round pick in 2007 out of Seton Hall Prep in West Orange, New Jersey. Took him a while to sign, so did not play in 07. Spent 1 year at A-ball in Lakeland. In 2008 was in the big leagues the next year. 14-game winner as a rookie. He's been a 14-game winner twice. And Trout goes down swinging. There's that nasty sinking fastball, 1 out.
And running that fastball in after the pitch before being a breaking ball. After a breaking ball, the pitch before ran that fastball in. Trout tried to tuck his hands in, at least foul that one off. A tough movement. And that's the thing about Porcello also. We talked about how aggressive and tough he is on the mound. He will pitch inside.
One out, one on, and Albert Pujols at the plate. Albert, the DH today. 28th game as a designated hitter. He will look at a strike. Fastball right down the pipe with a 4-game streak for Albert. 20 home runs, 66 runs batted in. As a DH, he's hit .368 this year. That's 27 games. .242 as a first baseman. One ball, one strike.
And that's a good take by Pujols. And that fastball starting at the knees, it's going to sink down towards the ground where he gets a lot of ground ball outs. Torrey Hunter is hanging out in the dugout, trying to stay cool. It is a warm, muggy day, like you mentioned earlier, here at the Big A. Feels like we're in Baltimore already.
Breaking ball upstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike. Porcello has been extremely good at turning the double play with that sinker. Going back to 2009, he leads all active pitchers with 127 double plays turned behind him. 20 this year. So in these type of situations, you want him to elevate a little bit.
Anytime you see a fastball, you as a hitter tracking the baseball, if it's starting at the knee, just let it go.
Missing away. 3 balls and a strike. Josh Hamilton on deck. Oakland and Texas will play later tonight. It is not the Sunday night game, but it is being played at Sunday night in Arlington. Do that during the summer, and they're grandfathered in. They've been playing night games there during the summer a long, long time. 3-1. This one's grounded to short. Suarez to Kinsler to Martinez. Inning-ending double play. We've played 1-0 Detroit. Oakland at 64 and 39, best record in baseball. The Angels' second best record at 62 and 41. 2 games back of the Athletics, and a healthy lead right now in that first wild card spot. But you never know, especially with the way the American League East is playing out, bunching up there with the way the Yankees continue to play, and the Tampa Bay Rays, the Orioles still playing good baseball.
Toronto. What a race in that East.
And we're not in August yet. Nick Castellanos leading things off. He'll be followed by Suarez and Holiday. First one from Hector Santiago's lifted foul and out of play.
This looks like the way Castellanos holds the bat high. Likes to get his arms extended, that he would be susceptible to fastballs in or cut fastballs in.
Has a lot of power, but it's mostly out toward right center field. And he'll turn on the ball. He could drive it out of the ballpark at any part, but it looks like his swing is tailored to go inside out toward right center.
Like a Morse-like swing, getting his arms extended.
Came inside and got the inside corner. One out. Second strikeout for Hector. That's now's the perfect time to reserve a suite rental during the season. Suites offer 12 to 36 guests the opportunity to enjoy the game in an intimate, luxurious atmosphere. Suite rentals offer all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverage options. To reserve your suite today, just call 888-796-HALO or log on at angels.com/suites. Angels go out on the road and will be gone until a week from Wednesday. 3 at Baltimore, 3 at Tampa, 2 at Dodger Stadium. That one misses inside. On August 6th, they return home. 2 against the Dodgers, 3 against the Red Sox, and then 2 against the Phillies. Two balls, no strikes on Suarez, the shortstop. 260. 3 home runs and 11 runs batted in. Suarez last night picked up one of the 4 hits the Tigers had. This was lifted to shallow right. Cole Calhoun comes racing in. Is there, puts it away, 2 outs.
And that's why you see Cole able to play deeper in right, because he comes in on the baseball so well. His first step is quick, aggressive. Then he makes a nice play on that shallow fly to right field.
Made a fantastic airborne dive and catch a couple of nights ago. There's a lot of ground out there. 2 outs. The catcher, Holiday, steps to the plate. TCU product, Texas native. Backup catcher for the Tigers. Takes a strike. Hitting 267. Has a double, a triple, 7 runs batted in. 38th game for Holiday. Dribbler foul, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Hector could use a quick inning here. Threw 28 pitches in the first, although quite a few strikes, 22. Faced just 5 batters. Oh, 2 just missed it. Santiago wanted that one.
Good spot though, yeah, just off the plate. 0-2. If you're going to miss, you're going to miss off the plate, and he just did.
This one hooked foul. Holiday looking inside, thinking that they're going to come back in there. They did.
And that's what Hector's done a couple times already in this game after a fastball, and he's backed it up with a fastball, and now you got to change your pattern. Now you have a hitter aware of that, it's aware of that fastball coming back in again. Then you can expand and go away against him, especially if you throw a changeup.
Slow ground ball to second. Howie has it. Santiago with a 1-2-3 second. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Hamilton, Ibar, Kendrick coming up. With the Angels down 1-0. 1-0 Detroit. Victor Martinez, the RBI double in the first, scoring Kinsler. Take a look at the Tigers defensively. Rajay Davis, Austin Jackson, and J.D. Martinez in the outfield from left to right. Castellanos, Suarez, Kinsler, and Victor Martinez from third to first, and Holiday behind the plate.
And Kinsler's done a very good job defensively at second base. Second base position's been very solid for him this season. Second among that position as far as fielding percentages. 2 errors made. That's why Porcello's numbers are much better. Better coverage in the infield. Ground ball pitcher, big reason. Ian Kinsler at second.
Josh Hamilton looks at a strike. First pitch off speed. Hamilton moved from the game 2 nights ago to soreness in his left knee. Had the night off last night. Back in there today. And it's an 0-2 count. Josh hitting .291, 5 home runs, 29 runs batted in.
From a fastball there, 0-2. Would be surprised if he threw him anything but something off speed now.
And it's an off-speed pitch, gets away, and Hamilton walks to the dugout. Had a chance to get on base via the strikeout wild pitch, but instead just heads to the dugout.
Just like we anticipated, a breaking ball after fastball in and gets away from Holly behind the plate. That would have been a tough play. Josh goes down the line.
At the very least, you got to give a courtesy run once you realize that ball's back.
I've seen before, believe me, where a catcher, just because at that point you're casually throwing down the first, you might airmail it. Mistakes have been made.
Ibar bounces one to short. Suarez has it. 2 down.
And coming up later in the game, we'll check out the big news from around the majors on the Carl's Jr. Sports Update. Very special day today in Cooperstown. Some very special players, managers inducted into the Hall of Fame.
2 outs, nobody on. Howie Kendrick at the plate. .292 average for Howie. He will look at a strike. Kendrick 1 for 3 last night. Had an RBI single in the 8th inning. Picked up his 45th run batted in. Missed upstairs. And right after with a fastball. It's 1-2. Porcello gave up the leadoff single to Cole Calhoun to the first, struck out Trout, and then Pujols grounded into a 6-4 inning double play. Pretty good changeup.
Throws it to both sides of the plate, also against left-handed and right-handed batters.
Efrain Navarro on deck. Back outside. This one fouled off.
Boy, very under control mechanics for Rick Porcello. Stays balanced and hits his spots very well.
Well, that's a similar pitch to the one that got Trout.
Hey, you look away for that little sinker. Such a fluid delivery for Porcello. Eyes never leave the target. You see that very well on our Phantom cam, how he follows through very well, but the eyes are on the target all the way through the follow through over the front leg.
Goes back outside. Howie punches one over to second. Kinsler has it. The Angels go down in order to complete. Detroit on top. 1-0. Tweet us your photo using hashtag WestFanPhoto. It could be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. 9-1-2 for the Tigers on Family Fun Day here at the Big A. Tigers up 1-0 as we begin this third inning. Rajai Davis swinging and missing on the first pitch. Davis hadn't played since Thursday. J.D. Martinez getting to start in left field those two games. Davis went 1 for 4 Thursday night. 300 average, 6 home runs, 33 runs batted in. Team leader in stolen bases with 25. Takes a strike. It's 0-2.
Good sequence so far for Hector against Davis. Back-to-back off speed.
Hector retired the side in order the second. Has 2 punch outs on the afternoon. This one's popped up. Efren Navarro, the first baseman, calling for it. 1 away. Folks, the Angels return home to take on the Dodgers August 6th and 7th. How about that? Why don't we just talk about that?
Yes.
The annual Freeway Series, 7:05. Don't miss out on the only regular season matchup between these two teams at the Big A, and purchase your tickets at the Angels Stadium ticket office or by heading over to angels.com.
Now that is going to be a lot of fun when we come back home.
Real fun, too, if the Angels take care of business in Baltimore and Tampa, or St. Petersburg. To be more precise, as that pitch is in for a strike.
Both teams playing very well.
One ball and strike. You know that the Angels will not get Miguel Gonzalez since he's pitching today against Seattle.
Yeah, Weaver's pitching the first game in Baltimore.
But today in the Baltimore papers that Buck Showalter will play with that rotation, and Chen, the lefty, will get pushed back, and they'll have Norris start the final game of that series. Bud Norris got 3 straight right-handers. She's fouled back. It's 2-2. Weaver and Tillman Tuesday night. Garrett Richards and Kevin Gossman Wednesday night, and then Bud Norris and Tyler Skaggs on Thursday.
Pretty good matchups for that series.
Two. Jackson lifts one out to right. 2 down. Probably figured that Shoemaker get locked up with David Price on Friday.
Oh, there's no question.
Just another game.
And then when we play the Dodgers, probably Kershaw. He's been good against those guys, that's for sure, including beating Justin Verlander last night.
Kessler with a base hit to right field in the first inning. He's 1 for 1. No balls, 2 strikes now. 2 hits allowed by Santiago. The single by Kessler, the double by Martinez. Since then, he's retired 6 straight. Just missed it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Coming back inside, and Kessler shoots one out toward right center field. Calhoun racing in and over, makes the running catch. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Santiago. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. The Angels down 1-0. Double by Victor Martinez, the only scoring in this ball game, and this being the 10th game of the homestand. Pretty much what we have seen the entire homestand, a very tight ball game, and it looks like Porcello's got it going early.
Yeah, Victor, it looks like a playoff atmosphere. We had Seattle, Baltimore, now Detroit coming in, low-scoring games, looking for mistakes made, and Porcello, 4 ground ball outs so far, 2 punch outs. You got to try to get him to elevate his fastball to be successful against him today.
Handle setting up the bottom 3rd of the order here. Navarro, Freese, and Conger against Porcello. .313 average for effort. And to start today at first base. 1 for 3 game with a home run. 2 runs batted in and a walk last night. weight back as long as possible on that slow breaking ball. It is 0-2. 30 pitches thrown by Rick Porcello. 22 of it strikes. One-two now. Bounce foul.
Boy, a lot more confident on the mound this season for Porcello. Mentioned earlier, his name is always bantered around as far as potential trades for the Tigers. A lot of confidence.
Game of cat and mouse here. Porcello stepping up. Navarro backing out. Ground ball to the left side. Castellanos can't get it. Sneaks through for a base hit. Nefrin is on board with a leadoff single. Second hit allowed by Porcello.
Well, he certainly uses the whole field. Home run to right center last night against Verlander, but with the shift being on, has hit that ball the other way. He's a guy that hits the ball very effectively to left center field. And up the middle, we've seen a couple of his key hits have been back up the middle for Navarro. Surprised there's a shift on against him, especially the way Porcello sinks the fastball down and away.
And more specifically, how poorly Castellanos can range to his right or left.
Yeah, you're better off just keeping him closer towards that base, a normal third base position for him.
David Freese takes outside. Freese had the night off last night. 245, 5 home runs, 33 RBIs. 2 nights ago, went 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Just 2-1 win on Friday. Halos need David Freese to get back on track to help that bottom part of the order going. It is 2-0.
I was watching him in the cages today. He looked more confident in what he was going to try to do against Porcello today. Good hitters count now. Let's try to elevate a fastball.
Takes inside. 3-0. Conger on deck.
With a day game here, the way the baseball carries, would not be surprised if Freese got the green light here if he can get a fastball, and Porcello maybe just trying to throw a fastball for a strike. See if he can do some damage.
3-1. Outfield straight around with Freese at the plate. J.D. Martinez shallow and right, as is Jackson in center. 3-1 pitch. Ground ball to second. Kinsler feeds Suarez for one. Double play. 2 down. Bases clear now for Conger. Second double play the Angels have hit into.
All the outs so far for Porcello in this game either been strikeouts or outs via the ground ball. 2 double plays. Total of 6 outs made on the ground for Porcello.
I mean, the numbers don't lie. We already mentioned them earlier in the game about how many double plays. He leads Major League Baseball since '09 in that category. You get a man on, you better start moving guys and try to do something different as opposed to being a station-to-station guy. We'll get double plays all afternoon.
You can hit and run with a guy like Porcello because he's going to keep the ball down. That's much easier to put the ball on the ground as far as a hit and run. And with infielders moving, you have a better chance to hit a ground ball in a vacated spot.
Conger looks at a strike. Hank hitting .240, 3 home runs and 21 runs batted in. Bouncer toward the middle. Kinsler to his right has it on the backhand. The Angels, second time they've led off an inning with a single. And leave nobody on base. 3 complete, 1-0 Detroit. Game set. Well, I guess it ain't game set when you go to Dodger Stadium, but they return home to the Southland after the game on Sunday. But Baltimore for 3, Tampa Bay for 3, the Dodgers for 2. Then back home on the 6th through the 13th before heading out on a big road trip. Texas, Boston, and Oakland. That'll take you pretty much through the end of August. Top of the 4th, Tigers up 1-0. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for Detroit. Cabrera, Martinez, and Martinez. Out back. It's an 0-1 count. Cabrera hit a fly ball to right in the first inning. He's 0 for 1.
Went fastball away, fastball in. Very good coverage for Cabrera. Off speed, try to go slow, keep it down and away.
Up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul back, elevated fastball.
Again, that pattern we've seen now. He's going in with a fastball. He's backed it up, right back in with a fastball. That's good. But now you can see the Tiger hitters are adjusting to that fastball back inside.
Oh, back outside the 1-2, and it just missed.
That's a good pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Looked like it froze everyone at the plate. The change up in the lower part of the strike zone.
Full count. Cabrera DHing for the 12th time this year. And unlike Pujols, average the other way, 227 as a DH. As he fouls this one back. 325 as a first baseman. He has played 7 games over at third this year. That's where he's been playing for the last several years with Prince Fielder over at first. Full count to start off this 4th inning. 2 punch outs, no walks, 2 hits allowed by Hector. Foul back.
62 pitches thrown for Hector, 44 strikes.
Ground ball to third. Freeze. Boy, that ball took a weird hop.
Looked like it got the grass in the dirt right in that corner by the base at third base. Good reaction by Freeze. Right down the line. On that grass kick back at Freeze. Were able to react and throw out Cabrera at first. Long at bat for Cabrera, but Hector was able to get him out on the ground ball out.
One ball, no strikes on Victor Martinez. Picked up his 21st double. 57th run batted into the first. Takes downstairs, and he is much better from the right side. I mean, not the 295 from the left side's anything to sneeze at, but 391 on the right side of the plate this year. Third in the American League. Here's a strike. And third in the American League against left-handed pitching, of course. Two-one pitch. This one line to short. Ibar's got it. 2 outs.
Got in on him just enough to not allow him to get elevation on that baseball. Ibar in position to catch the line drive.
Base is clear now, and J.D. Martinez getting to start it right today. Torrey Hunter with the day off. Martinez 0 for 1. Hit a fly ball out to right center field. The Trout made the catch on there the first. Long look in for Hector. 1-0's outside. 2-0. Rick Porcello on the other side has faced the minimum 9 through 3 innings, helped out by 2 double play balls. Angels will have the top of the order coming up in the bottom of this 4th inning. Good off-speed pitch. That's 2-1.
That's a perfect pitch in a fastball count against a guy that loves to get his arms extended and drive a fastball.
Three and 1. Now 3-1 pitch. This is a chop to the left side. Freeze has it. 1, 2, 3. Go the Tigers here in the 4th. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols trying to figure out Rick Porcello.
Barbecue Ultimate Cheeseburgers. By Time Warner Cable, enjoy better. By the 2014 Camry at your Toyota dealer today, we make it easy. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Bottom of the fourth, Tigers with a run in the first inning, and that is the only scoring in this game. Both teams with 2 hits. And the trend continues for the Angels throughout this homestand. Very tight ball games throughout. Taylor's 5-4 on the homestand, trying to pick up a series win today. As Cole Calhoun takes down low. Cole had a base hit off the mound and into center field the first inning. Eventually erased the double play that Pujols hit into to end the first. 2 thrown by Porcello today.
There's that bat again. This is the 3rd time in this homestand for Calhoun.
Got to get a leash for that thing. That would lead me to believe that something going on with that bottom hand.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing, making sure he's completely healthy, but he's certainly been doing a great job in that leadoff spot. Comfortable. And the swing again, and then it threw the baseball. And then as he rolls over, top hand, then bottom hand off the bat. Good pose for a bubblegum card, though.
No doubt. 1-1 pitch, fouled off to left. Breaking ball, missing away. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Porcello's been very economical with 2 strikeouts, 2 hits, just 44 pitches. 30 have been strikes. Now Porcello stepping off, and you wonder with the backup catcher behind the plate that maybe he's not in sync, if you will, with the starting pitcher. This one's off the end of the bat towards second. Off speed pitch. Kinsler gets rid of it quickly, and there's the first out of the 4th.
Boy, Kinsler has been busy. Ground ball action in this game. 4th one he's been involved in. He's been involved in 2 double plays also.
Trout takes upstairs. Like a strikeout victim in the first. Nasty sinker down at him. This one fouled back to the right. Toronto had wanted New York for a long time, and now they've made it 2 in a row. They defeat the Yankees today 5-4. Boston leading Tampa Bay 3-2 in the ninth. Trout looks at an off-speed pitch for a strike.
Tampa Bay has won 9 in a row.
Miami leading Houston 4-1. Cleveland leading Kansas City 7-3. That game's in the 8th.
And you can see what they're trying to do, going upstairs with a fastball against Trout, and then they'll follow it up with a slow breaking ball.
Two chop foul. Gary DiSarcina. Pujols on deck.
Trout just looking for that one mistake. Porcello has not made any against him. He's 2 at-bats so far in this game.
Pulled down the line. That's a fair ball. Castellanos' throw is on target. 2 down.
Ran another fastball in. Made it more difficult for Trout to get out of the batter's box. And another ground ball out for Porcello. Right down the line. Castellanos on the backhand. Able to gather himself, and because Trout was jammed, he wasn't able to get out of the batter's box as quickly. Able to get him at first.
The 2 outs, the base is clear, and here's Albert. 0 for 1 with that double play ball in the first inning. Breaking ball for a strike. Now the 1-1. This one's fouled back and out of play. Oh. Man just went backwards over a chair for a baseball. Hopefully he's all right. He's giving up the body. But I believe you can get those in the team store.
But they're not game used, though.
Albert shoots one foul into the seats. Count remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-0 Detroit. First inning run. Broken bat bouncer to third. The barrel goes back to the screen. The Angels go down in order. 4 complete. Still 1-0 Tigers. The 5th here at the Big A. Want to remind you that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Hector Santiago back out on the bump.
He's retired 10 consecutive Tigers since the double by Victor Martinez. Put Detroit up 1-0. That was in the first. 2 strikeouts, no walks, 2 hits allowed. Castellanos swinging first pitch. It's a lazy fly ball to shallow center. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Well, that's big for Hector. Those quick outs like that give him an opportunity to get deeper and deeper in the game, continue that streak he has going right now.
Eugenio Suarez, the shortstop, up 0 for 1. Hit a fly ball to right. And he will look at a strike. Staying away from him.
.28 pitches in the first inning, but after that for Hector has settled down.
A little bit upstairs. 1-2 now. '78th pitch of the game for Santiago's lifted out towards center. 2 down. Folks, the Junior Angels Kids Club presented by Farrell's Ice Cream Parlor Restaurants is accepting members for the rest of the 2014 season. This year, members receive a Mike Trout shirt, Angels sunglasses, ticket vouchers, and more. To register, log on at angels.com/Junior Angels. Right on cue. Mike Trout making the catch. You get a Mike Trout shirt, just sign up.
Yes.
2 outs, nobody on. Holiday, the catcher, at the plate. He grounded out to Kendrick. Nine fly ball outs for Hector Santiago today. Three ground ball outs. 0-2. He has settled down nicely after throwing 28 pitches in that first.
0.802 counts for Hector today.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Holiday. Another 1-2-3 inning for Santiago as he picks up his 3rd strikeout. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Still Tigers leading it.
tools in the trade, presented by Ram Trucks. Rick Porcello working that magic of that two-seam fastball, even against one of the very best hitters in Albert Pujols. Thought he was centered in on that baseball, ran it towards the label, shatters the bat of Albert Pujols. One of 10 outs via the ground ball for Porcello in this game.
57 pitches, that's it.
And if you want to get some quick outs, keep that sinker down, and that's what Porcello has done.
Hamilton swinging first pitch, hits it off the end of the bat to Ian Kinsler. 1 out. Hamilton 0 for 2 as he struck out back in the second. Continuing to get off-speed pitches, and Hamilton still has yet to make an adjustment on the off-speed stuff.
And a lot of these ground balls have not been squared up either. They're either running in on the label of the bat or off the end of the bat. Porcello's done a great job as far as keeping the ball down and keeping hitters guessing, mixing enough off-speed pitches to really utilize that two-seamer.
Eric Ibar 0 for 1. He grounded out to short back in the second inning. Two base runners for the Angels, both on singles, Calhoun and Navarro. The Angels have yet to get a man to second base. This one pulled through the right side, a base hit. An off-speed pitch that was up. Eric 1 for 2. And with Kendrick coming up and the Angels struggle, you figure you start something going.
Yeah, change up, it stayed up. Paid the price. As Eric Ibar gets that change up and hits it in the hole between first and second. I was thinking right with you there, Victor, because of the way Porcello's throwing the ball. He's going to keep the ball on the ground. Perfect time to put a hit and run on, especially someone who handles the bat so well like Howie Kendrick. Great numbers in the month of July, 356 average.
Big lead right from the get-go for Ibar. Time was called by Kendrick.
More than likely, you'll see Suarez cover the base with Howie going. I mean, with Ibar going at first, if a hit and run's being put on. Most times with a right-handed batter, it will be the second baseman covering. But Howie hits the ball that way a lot to the right side of the infield.
First pitch in there for a strike. Might be the one good pitch you get in the at-bat. That's been the case for Porcello throughout the 4 innings so far, 4 1/3.
Especially now he can afford to run that two-seamer down in, which makes it even more difficult to put a hit and run on.
Shows bunt, bunts it on the third base line. Castellanos has no play. That's an infield base hit. Ibar will slam on the brakes. That's one way of doing it.
Yeah, you have to bunch hits together against Porcello. He doesn't give up many big flies. So a good decision for Howie. Now the changeup. Good pitch to be able to bunt down the line like he did. Castellanos has no play. He knows that ball's not going to roll foul.
So first and second with 1 out. Effort Navarro at the plate. Effort with a base hit past Castellanos between the bag and the third baseman. This time Castellanos more to traditional position at third base. Suarez, however, shading effort toward the middle, trying to keep Ibar close to the bag. Tigers with a run back in the first, the only scoring in this game. Halos last night 2 for 10 with men in scoring position. Pitch is 207 on the homestand. 1-0. Off speed, pulled down the line. That is foul. Just out in front of the off speed pitch.
Navarro has been one of the most consistent hitters in these situations for the Angels.
One ball, one strike. Pick off attempt, and that is sails into center field. Ibar is going to try to take third. Kendrick takes second.
Well, that's a break. Well, look at Ibar. You talk about great instincts. Outstanding instincts for Eric Ibar.
We're tied at one. A big, big error.
And never hesitating, Eric Ibar. The pickoff and gets away into the outfield. Almost looked like there might have been a play. And Ibar sees that Jackson is throwing it in slowly. The cutoff man comes all the way around and scores. And he's looking back and sees the throw, and then he goes. It's going to be difficult to make a play at the plate. I've said many a times, Eric Ibar has amazing instincts for the game of baseball, both with his glove, the bat, and with his wheels.
So Kendrick standing at second with one out. 1-1 pitch. Navarro takes the breaking ball for a strike, 1-2. Well, we talked about in the fourth inning, you're going to have to do something to figure out how to bunch either hits or base runners together. Try to scratch out some runs against Porcello. That's how good he has been, and that's one way of doing it, that's for sure.
It seems like that's been the case this entire homestand, is trying to find ways to score.
You're absolutely right. Porcello, a long look into Holiday. It's the first time in this game that he has faced a fourth batter in an inning. Helped out by two double play balls he's thrown. One in the first, one in the third. And now talk things over here.
You know, especially the way you've been rolling as a pitcher, and a successful one in Porcello, but you make the mistake yourself. It's tough to shake that one off, knowing you had still a potential ground ball double play in order with first and second, but your throw not only allows the runners to advance, but one to score.
1-2 pitch, slice to Castellanos. He's got it for round number 2. Ran that pitch in on the hand. Still good piece of hitting, trying to shoot that one.
Boy, the way he can, he's so relaxed with his hands, Navarro. He still makes good contact.
So 2 outs. Kendrick standing at second. David Freese up. Mike Morin begins to loosen now the pen. Hector Santiago's retired 13 straight. Tigers in the 6th inning have 9-1-2 due up. Davis, Jackson, and Kinsler.
Hector's got the pitch count under control at this point also.
Yeah. Might just be a situation where you run Hector out there and Morin stays loose with him, gets in a little trouble, then you go to the bench.
Because you potentially could have Cabrera coming up in the inning.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Slow breaking ball. You think he's going to try to run a fastball in against Freese now.
Freese, a double play ball in the 3rd, so he's 0 for 1. One-two pitch. Watch out. 2-2 down. Tied at 1 on the heads-up base running by Eric Ibar. Breaking pitch, line to center field. Jackson is there. And the inning comes to an end. So the Angels do tie it up, however. A big throwing error by Rick Porcello will head to the sixth, knotted at 1.
Six inducted into Cooperstown today, the Baseball Hall of Fame, and what a class it was. Greg Maddux, Tony La Russa, Frank Thomas, Tom Glavine, Bobby Cox, Joe Torre. Arguably one of the best classes ever inducted into the Hall of Fame.
The Angels wearing the patch on the right chest of their jersey, the 75th anniversary of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Hector Santiago back out for the sixth inning. Rajai Davis lead things off. Shows Bond, takes inside. Davis popped out to Efrain Navarro in the third. Morin ready to go on the bullpen if Hector runs into some trouble here in the sixth. This one skied to shallow right center field. Long run in for Calhoun. Makes the grab for the first out. It'll bring up the center fielder, Austin Jackson. Santiago now 83 pitches, 3 strikeouts, no walks, and 2 hits allowed.
Well, contrast in the way both pitchers have pitched so well. One being a fly ball pitcher, the other ground ball pitcher. Santiago with 10 fly ball outs.
Jackson took a big rip on that pitch that was up. It's no balls and a strike. Hector was through 9 pitches in that 5th inning. Ground ball to the middle, and that's a base hit. So Jackson is on board with a 1-out single. First base runner since the double by Martinez in the first. Here comes Mike Scioscia. That's going to be it. Yep, sure enough. Points down to the bullpen. Santiago is done after 85 pitches today. He will depart with a man at first base. But Kinsler due up a pitching change. Nice job by Santiago. We're in a 1-1 game. One out. Hector Santiago done after 85 pitches and 3 punch-outs. He's responsible for Austin Jackson standing at first base. And you figure that Mike Moore is in here to try to induce the double play off the bat of Ian Kinsler to get the Angels out of this 6th inning.
Moore certainly a guy that can do that. Fastball, 90-94 range, slider plus changeup. But what a job today by Hector Santiago. Threw the ball excellent.
Today's first relief pitcher delivered by the UPS store. 3-3 mark at 2.61 ERA. Moore pitched Friday through 8 pitches with that out. Big strikeout in that game. That was a Torrey Hunter with the bases loaded at 2 outs. And that strikeout followed the error by Freese at third base to load the bases at that point. So Kinsler will bat, Jackson at first. And you got to pay attention with Jackson at first base. 9 stolen bases, however, he's been caught 4 times. Kinsler 1 for 2. Had a base hit with a run scored in the first.
Hank has thrown out 30% of would-be base stealers this year. Would not be surprised to see Jackson going early.
Tigers with a run on 3 hits, 1 error, 1 left on. The Angels 1 run, 4 hits, 1 man left on base. Another throw. Jackson easily back. First one to Kinsler, shows bunt, fouls it back. With Freese playing back at third base. Not a bad idea for Kinsler, especially with Cabrera on deck.
Freese playing back, especially because Kinsler pulls the ball so well. Tried to bunt that one right down the third base line, tried to angle the bat, but lost the handle of it. Very difficult to be able to keep that bat level. You lose the handle, especially with the top hand as you're trying to turn it and push that ball down the third base line.
Breaking ball, hook foul and out of play, out in front. So Moore ahead of the count at 0-2. One out single for Austin Jackson standing at first base. The changeup is cut on and missed. Down goes Kinsler, 2 outs.
It's that great changeup that Moore has. It has cut action against a right-handed batter. The circle changeup, but what he does on this one against a right-hander will end up cutting the changeup and it'll go away from a right-handed batter, but the velocity is perfect for Moore. 75-mile-an-hour pitch.
And that cut action at times has gotten him in trouble, right?
Yeah, when
it's
it
kind of
runs,
stayed.
yeah, when it stays straight and true to the middle part of the plate, that becomes a hittable pitch.
A lot of times you see changeups that almost kind of just die at the end, almost split finger like, but similar in nature as Cabrera swings through the slider.
Yeah, ideally you want to either cut it against a right-handed batter or against a lefty, go sink down and away. You do not want to have your changeup stay true and straight because it almost becomes the same pitch you see during batting practice, that same speed.
Cabrera 0 for 2 with a fly to right and a ground ball to third. Freese toward the line at third base and deep. On the corner 0-2. Cabrera glance back to Jim Joyce, the home plate umpire.
That got the strike zone. Fastball paints the outside corner, no question, catching the zone.
quick tag by Navarro, and Jackson gets the hand back in there. Breaking ball, and it gets away from Conger. Tough slider. He tried to backhand. And the wild pitch advances the go-ahead run into scoring position.
Tried to make the perfect pitch. And off the plate. That was his changeup, trying to cut it too much.
One-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Cabrera, and Moore comes in and strikes out 2. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Still tied at 1. More to get the Angels out of that top half of this inning. Hey folks, Monday, August the 4th kicks off. Get your red on a week. First, the Freeway Series returns. Angels and Dodgers go head-to-head in a 4-game set. Then starting Friday, the Angels will take on the Red Sox in a 3-game series here at the Big A. Plus enough all-new Angels programming to keep you seeing red all week long. It all starts August the 4th right here, Fox Sports West.
Like it.
A lot of red here today. A lot of Tiger fans here through this 4-game set as Conger swings through the first pitch, and it's 0-1.
We've had some great crowds this entire homestand.
Sellout last night, 43,569. Breaking ball. This is outside. Conger, Calhoun, and Trout here at the 6th inning for the Angels. And go for 1. He grounded out to Kinsler in the 3rd. Just scratch out player's name and insert another's, because that's what Porcello has done as far as the ground ball outs. This is Sky. Hank listening in. Kinsler gives way, and it's J.D. Martinez that's stuck with it.
That's a pretty good play by Martinez, because he looked initially as if he thought Kinsler was going to make the play. He had his arms up, and then last second Kinsler can't pick it up, and Martinez never gave up on that fly ball. See him looking at Kinsler before reacting to make a nice play. They're not used to catching fly balls, Rick. That was the issue. A lot of ground ball outs.
Calhoun 1 for 2. Takes upstairs. A single and a ground down for Cole. Fouled off. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. This one's kind of shallow left center. Austin Jackson taking charge. 2 outs.
Hyundai key for the game. Little Thunder Road. Time for that to get started with Mike Trout, the Jersey boy. Trying to drive a pitch from Porcello. Looking for a mistake. Porcello has pitched Trout very well, especially fastballs in and then slow breaking balls away. For a little 2-out rally.
A strikeout and a ground ball to third. Off speed, first pitch, first strike. Kevin Jepson getting ready. Tigers in the 7th will have Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez, and Nick Castellanos, 4, 5, and 6.
It's not easy for Porcello to pitch upstairs like he has against Trout because he's a guy that's going to be sinking the fastball. So you just look for an opportunity where he will make a mistake trying to go upstairs.
Breaking ball. It's 1 and 2. Now the 1-2. Off speed. He lays off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's funny that he lays off that pitch because he's been so good with that off-speed pitch down.
Yeah, he's so aware of that pitch up and in. More likely you're going to see that now. But he's conscious of that.
This one shot up the middle, a base hit. Stayed right through it. Second hit of the series. This one comes with 2 outs here in the 6th, and Pujols will bat.
Slider. Normally not a bad pitch, but that short swing and through the baseball. Very good swing from Trout.
Trout's got to be going here early, and Albert's got to make sure that he takes a pitch.
Well, how short that swing is to be able to get the barrel of the bat on that slider on the outer half. Impressive for Trout. Yeah, if you're Albert Pujols, you're allowing Trout to get that jump first pitch, and then you get back in your hitting mode.
The last 2 times up that Trout's been on board with Pujols at the plate. Trout's taken off. And Albert has swung at both pitches. The first pitch. Double play against Tommy Hunter, a ground out earlier in the series.
Porcello's only allowed 2 stolen bases in 5 attempts. He's pretty quick to the plate. Holds the ball well. Difficult to get a good jump against him.
Double play ball in the first for Albert, a ground ball to third in the 4th inning. 0 for 2. Albert asked for time, and it's granted.
Well, sure looked like Trout was thinking about trying to go.
Oh, 1. Good pitch to drive, fouls it back. 0-2 count. Base hit by Trout, the 5th hit for the Angels today.
Pretty much every inning around the same amount of pitches thrown for Porcello. 60 strikes of his 85 pitches thrown.
The Angels are done here in the 6th inning as Poole strikes out. We'll head to the 7th, tied at 1. Photo and your photo could be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Karen Streeter, we appreciate the picture. Keep on sending your tweets with hashtag WestFanPhoto. It could be shown in one of the any games that are remaining on the schedule, both home and road. Mike Moore back out to start the 7th. Victor Martinez set to lead things off. Moore with 2 strikeouts in the 6th after Jackson had a base hit with 1 out off Hector Santiago. That was the last batter that Hector faced. 1 run, 3 hits, 3 punch outs, and 5 1/3 for Santiago. Martinez spins around here from the left side for the first time today. 1 for 2. Doubled home run in the first, lined out Derek Ibar in the 4th. 3 for 13 now in the series. Lawrence, first one's a breaking ball for a strike. 8 pitches, 7 strikes so far for Mike, as Jepson continues to play catch. Off speed, a swing and a miss, good changeup. 0-2.
See, now the changeup runs away from a left-handed batter. When he throws his changeup to a right-handed batter, it will cut away. 2 different grips for his changeup. Great velocity on that pitch from Morin.
All right, Janda with a fastball in on the hands. Ibar with the glasses down, makes the catch. 1 down.
Right fielder, number 28, J.D. Martinez.
They'll bring up J.D. Martinez. Martinez getting to start at right field today for Torrey Hunter. 0 for 2 with a fly ball to center and a ground ball to third. Fastball high. Orioles and the Mariners tied at 1. That game at Safeco, top of the 8th inning. Minnesota defeated the White Sox 4-3. Cleveland over Kansas City 10-3.
Marlins swept the Astros today in the final 4-2. Pitch inside 2-0. Boston won, snapping Tampa Bay's winning streak. Toronto defeated the Yankees for the second straight game. Texas and Oakland later on. Halos have an off day tomorrow. They get a 3-game set against the Orioles on Tuesday. 2-0 pitch, breaking ball. 2-1.
Slider that was out over the plate for Morin. Martinez is going to walk away from the batter's box because he had a pitch to drive and pulled off and missed it. Much better delivery on that slider for Morin. Good adjustment.
Two now. Fastball fouled back. Nick Castellanos, the third baseman's on deck. Off speed, a swing and a miss. There's that Bugs Bunny changeup.
That is an amazing pitch. As a hitter, you think you're trying to stay back. And the circle changeup sells it as if it's a fastball, same arm slot. Martinez, hips already wide open, trying to stay back with his hands, but unable to do so. See how far the hips have already opened up. Bat is going through and the baseball's finally getting there. That's a great view from our Phantom Cam.
Breaking ball to Castellanos. First pitch in for a strike. Castellanos 0 for 2. A strikeout looking into second. A fly ball to center in the fifth. Morin did not face Castellanos a couple of nights ago. Ground ball to the left side. Freeze has it. 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A. Angels have Hamilton, Ibar, and Kendrick coming up at a 1-1 tie.
7th. And now it's time for the Arco top tier play of the game. To pick off attempt by Porcello against Eric Ibar, reads that into center field, but then sees Jackson just lobbing the throw in, decides to go and scores a run with his wheels. Great instinct. Looking back, picked up Jackson. That slow throw into the cutoff man comes in and slides and ties the game at 1. Great base running by Eric Ibar.
And you wonder whether or not the Angels would have scored had Eric not taken advantage of that mental mistake by Austin Jackson.
That's why you take chances, especially when the guy is throwing as well as he has, not only in this game, but this season.
Porcello just threw his 87th pitch, facing Josh Hamilton here to lead things off in the 7th. Hamilton 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. Ibar, by the way, were told that advanced to third on the error by Porcello and advanced on a fielder's choice to the plate. So it's not a 2-base error. Some would think it is. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Off speed after off speed for Hamilton. The Tiger pitching. Whether it's a changeup or slow curveball.
Hamilton lifts one down the left field line and tailing out of play.
Threw him a fastball in.
Three infielders on the right side with Hamilton up. And he swings on a high fastball. Goes down for the first down here in the 7th. 4th strikeout of the game for Porcello.
Fastball in. Fastball away. Elevated. Porcello's done a nice job as far as going upstairs with his fastball today. Last season we didn't see a lot of that from Porcello. A lot of pitches down. A very good job of going upstairs with his fastball and effectively throwing it up there. Not a mistake pitch.
Eric out in front of the off-speed pitch. 0-1. It's 1 for 2. Base hit in the 5th inning. No balls, 2 strikes. Oh, 2 now. Breaking ball, rolled foul again. The Angels have action at their pen, as do the Tigers. Mike Moore has gone an inning and 2/3. He is done. Boy, did he ever do his job. Faced 5 batters, struck out 3.
Well, what a job he's done this entire season for Mike Scioscia out of the bullpen in some very tight pressure situations for a rookie.
There's that 2-seam fastball. Got Ibar looking. 2 outs. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts now for Porcello.
Not known necessarily to be a strikeout pitcher. 2-seamer had some serious action though. Barely touching the upper part of the strike zone according to our Fox tracks.
5 punch outs on the afternoon. Now Kendrick at the plate. Howie 1 for 2, singled in the 5th. That single was a bunt base hit down the third base line. And Howie's on that pitch too at 89. Joe Smith getting ready for the Angels. There's Joe. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next pitch will be the 99 thrown by Porcello. Here's the 1-2. A swing and a miss, and Porcello struck out the side. 7 complete, still tied at 1. Insurance. Get a fast free quote at mercuryinsurance.com today and see how much you can save. And buy Hyundai. Visit buyhyundai.com today. Tied at 1 here at Angel Stadium. Top of the 8th inning. Rick Porcello more than likely done. He was shaking hands with everybody in that dugout. 99 pitches, and what a way to finish off. 4 straight strikeouts. Pujols to finish his 6th and striking out the side in the 7th. That is, if he is indeed done for the afternoon. The Angels, on the other hand, have gone to the bullpen once again. It is Joe Smith. So in and out, who's in, who's out. Mike Morin went inning and 2/3, 3 strikeouts, the rest zeros. And now Joe Smith is on in relief. Joe pitching now in his 49th game. 3-0 record, a 2.12 ERA, 15 saves. Last pitched on Friday through 17 pitches.
He's been doing a good job as far as keeping his fastball down. Sink action, very good sweeping slider also.
Smith will face the bottom third of the order here in the 8th. Suarez, Holiday, and Davis. 3 hits for the Tigers, 5 for the Angels. 1 big error. That was by Porcello himself on a pickoff attempt. With runners at first and second and 1 out. In the 5th inning, Ibar went to 3rd, and as Jackson flipped the ball into the infield, kept on running home. First one in for a strike. Eugenio Suarez, the shortstop, twice has hit a fly ball out today. Once to right, once to center. He's 0 for 2. A chopper to 3rd. That is foul. He's got rid of it quickly, but Tim Joyce, home plate umpire, making the call, as did Corey Blazer at 3rd base.
Yeah, you still have to, because it's a tough play for Freeze. You have to follow through with it just in case it's called fair. Clearly on the other side of the base, but still you have to follow through on the throw. Nice play by Freeze.
Oh, 2 now. Slider fouled back. Jabba Chamberlain now getting ready for Detroit. Chamberlain's pitched once in this series. That was on Thursday. Gave up a run. Back inside. 1-2.
Slider lifted down the left field line. Not hit very deep. Long run for Josh Hamilton. He's not going to get there. That's a foul ball. Just foul.
Well, top hand swing. Just missed, hitting that one right on the line down the left field line. Very, very close to the chalk.
Cal remains at the ball and 2 strikes. Way outside with a slider. 2-2. Outfield playing shallow all the way around, including Calhoun in right. Cole shading Suarez a little bit toward the foul line in right field. Another great crowd tonight, or today I should say. 36,252. 2-2 bouncer to the left side. It's going to be a tough play for Ibar. Gets rid of it quickly. They got him. What a play by Eric Ibar. 1 down.
Oh, he's done it all in this game. Not only scores the only run for the Angels with his wheels, but what a play on the backhand and a strong, accurate throw the first. Well, this is well in the shortstop hole. Gets rid of it quickly and a perfect throw. And gets him. See the ball going in the glove before the foot hits the base. Suarez out on a great play by Ibar.
Brad Osmus going to his bench as Torrey Hunter will pinch hit here for Brian Holiday. Holiday finishes the afternoon going 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground ball to second. Torrey hitting .272. 14 home runs, 60 runs batted in. Oh for 3 as a pinch hitter this year. Last night went 0 for 3. Grounds on this sharply to David Freese. 2 down.
And what we see from Joe Smith when he's on his game, you're going to get a lot of ground ball action in the infield, especially that side of the infield at third base. Freese, nice play on that one.
2 outs, nobody on, and it's Rajay Davis coming to the plate, left fielder. Two fly ball outs for Davis today. Halos in the 8th inning have Navarro, Freese, and Conger due up. Looks like Chamberlain will be pitching the 8th. Little chopper. This is going to be a tough play with the speed of Davis. Smith fires it on the first, and they got him. A 1-2-3 inning.
Good under control play by Joe Smith. Got himself around the baseball. Perfect throw the first.
Head to the bottom of the 8th. Still tied at 1. inning, tied at 1. Brett Ausmus has gone to the bullpen as right-hander Jabba Chamberlain has taken over on the mound for Rick Porcello. And the Angels are certainly thrilled to see Porcello out of the game. 7 innings, 5 hits, 6 strikeouts, no walks, 1 run. It was unearned. Back in the 5th inning. Jabba pitching in his 47th game, a 1-3 mark, 2.55 ERA. As you mentioned earlier that he pitched in Thursday night's game.
And fastballs solid, 91 to 96. Slider, there's a lot of them. Curveball, changeup. What a job by Rick Porcello and Hector Santiago in the game. Bullpen has been solid for the Halos also. A lot of strikes being thrown, no walks on either side in this game.
Efren Navarro will lead things off for the Angels, followed by David Freese and then Hank Conger. Navarro getting to start today at first base is 1 for 2 with a single and a line out to Castellanos at third base. It's like Jim Joyce waiting for Chamberlain to turn around and check the baseball or give him a new baseball. Chamberlain signing with the Tigers in the offseason after several seasons of being hurt on the DL, dealing with those injuries and rehabbing. But he's felt the best that he's felt all offseason. And he won offseason, I should say, in the last couple of years. His effort fouls off the first pitch. Velocity's back up for him, but effective. With a late inning reliever.
Has an ERA 4.57 in his career versus the Angels, though, for Chamberlain.
Oh, 1 on the corner. No balls, 2 strikes. Much different look from Chamberlain than that of Porcello, that's for sure. Now the 0-2. Backdoor breaking ball, missing away.
Well, when Chamberlain first came up, his slider used to be around 88 to 92 range. Houston Street getting warmed up in the bullpen for the Halos.
Fastball missing away. 95. Two now. Effort swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Avila. Has to throw down to first. Complete the strikeout. And there's the first out. Fans, follow every Angel game with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replays, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store. Log on at Angels.com for more details.
And that's 5 straight strikeouts for Angel batters. It's Tiger pitching.
Halos had a boatload of strikeouts combined in the first 2 games, 27 between Scherzer and Smiley. Smiley setting a new career high for himself with 11 in game 2 of this set. Breaking ball missing upstairs. David 0 for 2. Double play ball in the 3rd, a fly ball to center in the 5th. Last base runner, Mike Trout, 2-out single off of Porcello in the 6th.
Now, if you're Freese, you're in a fastball count. Chamberlain likes to throw his fastball away, but Freese has good power to right center field to see if he can drive one of those fastballs on the outer half now.
From something off speed, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Chamberlain, a first-round pick, compensation pick back in 2006 by the Yankees at the University of Nebraska. That was back in 06. Got to the big leagues for the first time in 07. 2-1 now. This is driven out to left center field, hit well. Davis going back. This one is gone. A big fly for David Freese. And the Angels lead it 2-1.
David Freese able to get himself in a good count to drive the ball, and he does the damage to left center field. His 6th home run, 34th RBI of the season. Slider just spins out over the plate, and a great swing on it. Boy, you'll get a good view in our Phantom Cam. Slider up, able to get the barrel of the bat on the baseball and create lift and get it out of the yard. Great swing from Freese. This felt something special for Freese today, the way he was looking in the cages before the game, smiling, waiting for a mistake, and got it.
22nd home run hit by the Angels this month. 107th of the season. Tiger takes outside. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Hank 0 for 2, a ground ball to second and a fly ball to right. (3-0). Top of the order, and Cole Calhoun on deck. One way to snap out of the consecutive strikeout string.
In a big way.
Big blast here in the 8th. 3-1 now. That is ripped down the line, but hooks foul. Full count. Tigers in the 9th at the top of their order coming up. Jackson, Kinsler, and Cabrera. Houston Street gets ready.
You'd love to add on here if you can.
(3-2). Hank pops it up left side. Suarez, the shortstop, drifting down. 2 outs. After the last out, Angels Live postgame presented by SoCal Mazda Dealers. We'll break it all down for you. Patrick O'Neill, Jose Bota, and Alex Curry. Immediately following the ball game. So 2 outs, bases clear. Here's Cole. Calhoun, a 1 for 3 game, single back in the first. This one lined and just beyond the reach of Suarez to the alley in left center. Davis cuts it off. Calhoun will slam on the brakes. A 2-out single will bring Trout to the plate.
That was good hustle out of the batter's box for Calhoun. But Davis, with good speed out in left field, was able to cut the angle down and keep Calhoun from getting to get double. But he was thinking double out of the batter's box, but played well just over the head of Suarez at short. Cut off well by Rajai Davis in left field.
Multi-hit game for Calhoun. Brings up Trout, who singled in the 6th inning. Breaking ball for a strike.
We'll see if that last swing from Trout, when it's a line drive up the middle on a slider, can get him back on track against Tiger pitching.
Cole out's a big lead at first base. Base hit that Trout had in the 6th inning. It's his 2nd hit of the series. The other coming back on Thursday night. 0-1. Breaking ball outside. One. Ground ball left side. Castellanos to his left, fires to second, and they force out Calhoun to end the inning. But David Free's 6th home run of the season with 1 out here in the 8th puts the Angels on top as we head to the 9th. Mike Scioscia handed the ball off to Houston Street with the Halos on top. Now we'll look on as the Angels have a new relief pitcher and a new third baseman in the ball game. John McDonald takes over at the hot corner for Freeze, and it is Houston Street on to try to close this one out for the Halos, up 2-1.
When Houston has had himself a fantastic season, picked up a couple saves for the Halos. Very good sinking fastball, 89-92 range, good slider, good off-speed changeup.
Houston will be facing the top of the order here in the 9th inning, with Austin Jackson and Kinsler, Miguel Cabrera due up. Joe Smith, a 1-2-3-8. Mike Bourne hitting in 2/3 of scoreless baseball with 3 strikeouts, and they all took the lead from Hector Santiago, who this afternoon went 5 1/3, gave up 1 run on 3 hits and had 3 strikeouts. Austin Jackson today 1 for 3, singled in the 6th. Houston last pitched on Friday, threw 9 pitches in that game. First one hit for a strike, the fastball. Street on Friday faced Martinez, Hunter, and Castellanos. Giving up a 2-out single to Torrey before striking out Castellanos to end the game. 0-1 on the way. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, 0-2.
Boy, great location, starting off with a fastball away, followed by a slider away. Now he can expand the strike zone.
Oh, 2 to Jackson. Outside, a breaking ball. Fourth game for Houston as a member of the Angels. 2 saves. Howard missing outside.
One thing, Jackson has made an adjustment now, especially a bit from the leadoff spot, not chasing that slider off the plate as much as he did early on in his career.
Mentioned early in the game, back in that leadoff spot. He's at .355 in the month of July for the Tigers. Now the 2-2. Just got a piece of it. Slider. Kinsler retrieves the foul ball. Will reset and do it again. Houston with the Padres this year pitched in 33 games. 1-0 mark, a 1.09 ERA. Picked up 24 saves, 34 strikeouts, 7 walks in 33 innings. Now they're 2-2. Down and away. Full count.
And has not chased that slider off the plate yet in this at bat.
Now the payoff pitch. Jackson lifts one out toward right center field. Trout back a couple of steps is there. 1 away.
And utilizing that bigger part of the field, staying away. Smart decision for Street. Trout runs it down.
Second baseman, number 3, Ian Kinsler.
1 out, bases clear for Ian Kinsler. Kinsler 1 for 3, singled and scored back in the first. 2 of the 3 hits for the Tigers coming in that first inning. The other, the single by Jackson in the 6th with 1 out. That was Hector Santiago's last batter. This one off the end of the bat, foul. Joe Nathan and Joaquin Soria loosening for Detroit in their bullpen. Oh, 1 pitch. Fastball missed. 1-1. Tigers, like the Angels, have the off day tomorrow. They'll start a 6-game homestand on Tuesday. White Sox for 3, the Rockies for 3. Conger back outside. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball to the right side. Navarro's got it. Waves off Street. 2 down. So the Angels 1 out away of picking up the series against the Tigers. But there's a pretty good guy, pretty good hitter coming to the plate of Miguel Cabrera. Over 6 in his career with a punch out against Houston Street, looking for his 3rd save as an Angel. Angels looking for their 63rd victory. A little pressure on Oakland. He'll take on the Texas Rangers in just a little while in Arlington. Here comes the first one. Swing and a miss.
Starting with a slider. Good one. Cabrera guessing fastball.
Miguel, the DH this afternoon, 0 for 3 with a fly to right, a ground ball to 3rd, and a strikeout in the 6th inning. That was with Morn on the mound. Oh, what pitch. On the corner 0-2. Over the fastball there. And Cabrera doesn't like that call. He didn't like a particular pitch in his 6th inning at bat either. But Jim Joyce has been very consistent throughout this ballgame for both sides. Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Light that baby up as the Angels take the series from the Tigers. Today, a 2-1 final.
Wow, how impressive. 10-game homestand. Some tough teams. All 3 teams at this point would be in the postseason and end up 6-4. The home run by David Freese, the difference. Joe Smith had produced a 5-0 in his career against the Tigers. Now 4-0 in the season. Houston Street picks up his 3rd save, but Michael Morn, great job out of the bullpen. Hector Santiago and the glove and wheels of Eric Ibar, keys for this victory today for the Halos, winning 3 of 4 against a very good team. Pressure-packed games against the Tigers.
Another 1-run game. Nothing more than 2 runs separating the Angels and any team throughout this homestand. With a victory today, the Angels finish off this homestand 6-4, and now we'll have an off day tomorrow as they head to Baltimore to take on the Orioles beginning on Tuesday night, and then the Tampa Bay Rays for a weekend series next week before returning to Dodger Stadium to start the Freeway Series.
Does this feel like
Friday.
Postseason baseball? What? This entire homestand, great pitching, great timely hitting, and tight games.
Top offense as far as average on-base percentage and slugging, and the Tigers and the Angels limited that team to 7 hits over the last 2 games of the series. The hero, David Freese. Let's go down to Alex Curry.
Thank you, Victor. David, facing one of the best offensive teams in the American League, what allowed you guys to bounce back and take this series?
I think our pitching did a great job. It's 2 really good teams, well put together on every aspect of the ball, and to win the series is huge.
You had a big blast there in the 8th. Your 4th home run you've hit after the 7th inning. Is there a different approach or state of mind in those big must-win situations?
No, not at all. You're gonna fail more than you succeed, but it's just happy to help the team today.
Now, a lot of guys have said the attitude in this clubhouse is contagious. How much of an effect did that have on this homestand?
Oh, it's huge. A lot goes on in every clubhouse, and what's going on in ours is a special thing. And being in the postseason is an exciting part of the year for us and the fans, and we're just trying to get there.
Well, congratulations on the big win.
All right, thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.
Well, Angels take this series for a final score of 2-1, thanks to the bat of David Freese. And up next, Patrick O'Neill and Jose Moto will break it all down on Angels Live, presented by your SoCal Mazda dealer.